Love is my choice. Love is my decision. Love is my voice. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. Expression is yours to choose on high. Love is my choice. Love is my decision. Love is my voice. Love is my love is my decision. Love is my decision. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Love is my religion. Love is my
Good morning, everybody. So good to see everybody here on this beautiful day. I know that some of you might have been tempted just to stay outside on a sunny day. I'm Reverend Jay Lang, Senior Minister here. So glad to be back from South Carolina, where people talk slowly with lots of pauses and lots of information about the weather, even when it's a fair day. So it's all good. I'm so glad to be back in community, and so glad to have Bodhi here with us this morning to open us up with some music. Let's welcome Bodhi.
Well, it's so good to be here.
Exactly. It is, isn't it?
Are you ready to sing? Where's the words? We got the words there? Spirit, guide my day, open my heart, live your way. Teach me to hear your voice, open my mind to the freedom of joy. Spirit, guide my day, open my heart, live your way. Teach me to hear your voice, open my mind to the freedom of joy. One more time now. Spirit, guide my day, open my heart, live your way. Teach me to hear your voice, open my mind to the freedom of choice. Everybody sing it one last time. Spirit.
Thank you, Bodhi. Thank you for opening this up today. What a blessing life is in all ways. I'm just so excited about life, about this community. I just came back from a convention, Centers for Spiritual Living convention, and it was an affirmation for our community in so many ways, and an affirmation for our denomination, the Centers for Spiritual Living. So you'll hear more about it today and many Sundays to come, because I was filled with so much ideas that continue to open up ideas in my talks. We do like to begin each service with our vision and mission statement. If you'll look up on the screen, whether you're online or here in person, and repeat with me. We are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And the mission statement: we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. So we're blessed by this vision and mission as we continue to let it guide us, let Spirit guide us in all ways. We're so grateful for this truth of who we are as a community. We do, as far as announcements this month, this is Black History Month. We like to take these history months and take time to give voice to African Americans, to black men and women individuals, knowing that the diversity that we give voice to makes us stronger, wiser, more creative, more powerful. And to let you know, I think most of you know, what could March be? Could it be Women's History Month? Yes, it is. So that'll be what we do next. And we continue to do this to make sure we have voices. And as far as Black history, we'll continue to bring voice to there, just like we do all voices that tended to be suppressed over history, which includes women, Asian Americans, Pacific Islanders, Latin Americans, Latinos, that we know that all of these voices together make us, in truth, live the oneness that we believe in. So we're grateful for that. Now, next Sunday, we're having a special workshop after the class called Dive Deeper. And it's a time to meet with me about the beliefs about our center, the origin of them, talking a little bit about quantum physics and different things, just to kind of explore that. And this is, you can just come if you're just interested. Even if you've been here a while, you might want to come and just be a part of like-minded people to discuss some of these beliefs that we have. And also, if you're not a member yet of this center, then this class is a prerequisite to become a member. You don't have to become a member to be part of the class or be interested in that. It's just a way to learn more about our center that we'd like to do. And so that'll be right after the service. So, we'll have time to get coffee and snacks. And if you want to bring those in here into the sanctuary, you're welcome to do that. But that's Sunday, March 3rd. You don't need to sign up ahead of time, but we do like to know how many people are coming. So there's a registration sheet at the welcome table, or you can use the QR code that's online to register for it. And then on the 16th, Georgia Davis, ministerial intern and practitioner here, and I are leading a workshop on selfish, selfless service. And why Georgia came up with this title, because it's her beliefs that, and I believe it too, that when we serve, we find joy and so many benefits from serving that it's really selfish that we're serving ourselves to serve, which is kind of ironic in a way. But we're going to be talking about that, and it's going to be an interactive workshop. So there's going to be activities to do that you're not limited by your ability. You can do some from sitting or active, either one. So I hope you're a part of this. This is on a Saturday morning, March 16th at 10 a.m. Registration is free, but we do definitely want you to register ahead of time for that. There will be a gratitude offering there, but no set fee. It'll be your choice what to give from that. And then also there are classes starting in late March and April. The Spanish-speaking ministry has one taught by Imelda Gomez that's coming up starting on March 26th for 6 Tuesdays. We'll have other English-speaking classes starting in April also. So keep your eyes open for that. And if you're interested in that, everything is on the website to sign up for those. The big thing coming up is on May 4th is our big Sip and Savor. This is our major fundraising that we do once a year, where there is wine tasting, savory food. That's, the Sips plus Savor. That's where that comes from. There's an auction, and we also give out Compassionate Heart Awards to 3 individuals in the Valley, beyond this community, in the bigger Valley, that have done things to make a difference, to give of their heart and their soul to a cause or maybe a number of causes they do. Now, what's important about that, this is the last week. So the end of this month is the deadline for nominating somebody for this award. Just because you nominate doesn't mean they always receive it. We always have more nominations than we can give awards to. But I encourage you to, if you have somebody in mind that has given a lot to this community, to the Napa Valley, please fill it out, and we'll consider their nomination. But this is, I think it's Thursday is the 29th, so we'll go to Leap Day since we have one extra day of this month. But that's coming up. And then also be considering what you might want to donate to our auction. You might have a connection to a restaurant for a gift card or wine tasting, or if you have a connection to a winery, invite them to either pour wines or give bottles of wine to our auction. Gift baskets, fine art, jewelry, things like that. So consider, or perhaps a service that you have as a professional you could give. So consider that for our auction. And all those are on the sheets out there. Matter of fact, Johanna, the sheets are right there on the table. I don't think they were handed out when people come in. If you could just get somebody to help you and maybe pass them out to everybody now, that would be great. And then we also have the peace pole, what we call the traveling peace pole that you can bring. It'll be delivered to your house if you sign up for it. We ask that you give a donation as part of our fundraiser for this. But the most important part is when it's in your neighborhood, you're promoting peace, encouraging to be peaceful and spreading peace in that way. So if you want to know any information about that, Johanna Muth has that. So, and then meditation on Wednesdays. And always we're here for you in prayer, that we take great pride in and meaning, the practitioners and I do, in praying for you. So you can stay after the service to pray with a practitioner. You can fill out prayer requests in the lobby. You can, or online. And Johanna, what I was talking about, the little half sheets, not the big sheets. Hold on. So, and then we're going into meditation now, so right after the meditation would be great. Thank you very much. Now we'll begin the sacred part of our service with our meditation song.
I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God.
In this silence, really feel the divinity within you, the light that you are, the light that everyone in this room is. This is one of my favorite prayers, and I use it to help me remember that I am one with the Creator of all. We are all one with the Creator of all. O Thou, who art the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, Creator of heaven and earth, open our hearts that we may hear Thy voice, which constantly comes from within. Disclose to us Thy divine light, which is hidden in our soul, that we may know and understand life better. Most merciful and compassionate being, give us Thy great goodness. Teach us Thy loving forgiveness. Raise us above the distinctions and differences which divide. Send us the peace of Thy divine Spirit, and unite us all in Thy perfect being. Amen. Unite us all in our perfect being. This is the truth of who we are. We are one with the divine source, the Creator of heaven and earth, the light that shines everywhere in everything. Sometimes it's hard to see that light beyond what the illusions show us, beyond what we hear in the news. But this is the truth. This is the only truth. So just sink deeper into this light, that praying to your God, to the divinity, to the God Goddess, that inspires in you. And just for a moment, imagine the world the way you would love it to be. The light shining through everything, everyone, all situations, all craziness of war ceased forever. For this is the dawning of enlightenment, and we are the light beings, the ones who carry and hold that truth to be reflected in this world, to inspire that spark to awaken in others. It is why we're here. It is our sacred duty and our extreme pleasure. So give thanks that you know who you are. And remember, in those moments when you forget, you are still that divine being, here to be the light in this world, to shine bright through all the darkness. And so it is done. Blessed be. Thank you.
Good morning. Are we on? I don't hear myself. Can you hear me okay? Okay. Well, I will speak more slowly so you can hear what I'm saying. You know, I saw that workshop that Jay was doing, selfish. I thought it was how to learn how to sell fish, you know, but I realized I had misinterpreted the lines there. So I live in Mount Shasta now. Some of you may know I drifted up there recently. But I've been going to Mount Shasta for about 50 years. I started in 1973 working in Mount Shasta. And it only took me 50 years to finally write a love song to the mountain. I guess I'm a little slow to commit. Also had that line in there. The theme was something about lighting your way, and there's a line in the song called "Lights the Way." And so I thought, good work. Mountain Shasta, Mountain Shasta, Mountain Shasta, call me home. Mountain Shasta, Mountain Shasta, Mountain Shasta, call me home. Purple shadows, purple shadows, purple shadows, light the way. Purple shadows, purple shadows, purple shadows, light the way. Oh, come together, come together, come together in unity. Oh, come together, come together, come together in unity. Mountain Shasta, Mountain Shasta, Mountain Shasta, call me home. Mountain Shasta, mountain Shasta, call me home, call me home, call me home, call me home. Reverend J.
That was so beautiful. I just mesmerized. And I love songs that are talking about going home, because although it's Mount Shasta's your home, it's also spiritual home.
Wow, you got that innuendo. Oh my God. Nothing gets by this man.
Talking about that will be handed out to you on the way out now, and they have announcements in them. So it's nice when you have a piece of paper like that you can take home. I don't know if you put things on the refrigerator or whatever, but it talks about all the upcoming events. As well, it has QR codes to register for things, reminder about Sip and Savor. So that's all there, so you can get those on the way out. As I mentioned, I'm so happy to be here and so happy to have this community in a wonderful, healthy place. If this happens to be your first time here, a special welcome to you online. I love that we have continuing people watching us online from different areas of the country. From I know of Oregon and Washington and Kentucky. We even have some people. So we appreciate all of you. And if you happen to be new with us today, welcome as well. As I mentioned, being in South Carolina for this convention we had, that was it's only every other year we meet in person. We meet every year, but the other every other year is virtual. And there's nothing like seeing people you haven't seen for, oh my gosh, years. Or maybe since 2 years, some of them since the last convention we had. And ministers, practitioners, members of communities just gathering together. And part of it is just that affirmation of this work we're doing together as Centers for Spiritual Living. It was just beautiful. And the theme of the conference was lighting the way of love, and that's also had a lot of symbology to us. I think what's most important about this particular convention for me was that because of where we chose it to be. You might think of it, when probably half of our centers are on the Pacific Coast, why would we go all the way to South Carolina? But it's because of the journey we've been on as a denomination to recognize hidden biases we might have of all people that might have been suppressed over history. But particularly Charleston was chosen because it's the place where, this is some pictures from the convention itself. But if you remember just a few years ago, that at the Mother Emanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church, they were having a Bible study one day, and a white supremacist 21-year-old came into it and killed 9 people. And I don't want to speak that young man's name. He's in prison for life without a possibility of parole, which is, I don't know. I don't want to be vengeful, but there did need to be some consequences for what happened. But I do want to speak the name of the senior pastor there, State Senator Clementa C. Pinckney, and all these other beautiful souls. And what I know about Charleston now that I didn't know before I went is, for a lot of people, this would kind of, they would shut down and be in trauma and fear and confusion about life or negativity. But they didn't. They're a very resilient people. That they they marched more, they protested more, they stepped out and spoke their truth. They did not keep that. I mean, you know, that these people were shot because they were speaking truth. But that didn't stop others who survived that from speaking out. And so the Centers for Spiritual Living really was there present to give voice to the African Americans and other forms of diversity, other people of people of color, because it was important to give that power to voice, that and allow space for that to happen. So we spent, and also some of us went to just recently open the International African American Museum that is in Charleston. This is part of their resilience. So the old history that goes back over 400 years is Charleston has a port. And that port was the most, more African Americans or Africans that were taken from their homeland were brought to that port and sold as chattel slaves, the enslaved. So it has a history, and so this museum illustrated and depicted the activity of the port, the activity of the enslaved, the activity of people that fought in the Civil War and later protested for civil rights, and this fight that they had. And like I said, it was from resilience. It was a story of resilience. It was a story of tragedy, yes. But it was also a story of tremendous growth and opening. On the slide in the lower right-hand corner, there's a quote by Tanya Matthews, who's the president CEO of this museum. She said, "We are going to tell the unvarnished version of the stories. They are harsh and do not speak well of humanity. There are reasons they've been toned down previously." I know for myself, Georgia Davis and I both went to the museum. Dozens of us did from the convention. It was not an easy museum to watch, to see the depictions. And I know for myself, I recently found out, it's funny the stories we tell about our families, right? So the stories I'd always heard that we had an ancestor on the Mayflower, he was a doctor, and that we had all these progressive people living in New England that were abolitionists. But I dug through some archives of our family history written narratives. And I also found out that we had at least one set of relatives living in Tennessee that were slave owners. I knew that going into the museum, and it was hard. It was really hard to think that anybody I knew, anybody related to me, anybody at all would do that. I think the saddest thing for me, there were many sad things. One of the sad things, I'll put it this way, was hearing that all the enslaved were treated poorly, but the women were treated especially violently, sexually assaulted and then whipped. I don't know why that happened, but I can assume that these white slave owners were probably loved some of their personal slaves, and they couldn't love them. So the way they did that, like many people who are traumatized, act in violent ways to push people away. I don't know that for a fact, but I do know women were treated more harshly though enslaved. And so all this is really hard, and as I walked through the museum, I sort of silently said to myself, because being a white man, being a descendant of a slave owner, I needed something to come to resolution. So I was doing the Ho'oponopono prayer, just silently to myself as I walked through that museum. Yeah, I am sorry, because I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. and thank you. And I was grateful for the people that put this museum together, that it wasn't, it did not speak well of humanity, but it gave the unvarnished truth. It wasn't an opinion, these were facts. More African Americans were unloaded at that port and sold than any other port in the United States. The violence happened at that church, and these people, both white and black and other cultures there, have come together willing to reveal the truth, knowing that there's a greater truth, a greater life as we transcend, not forget, not bypass this because we want to feel it, but a willingness to allow something greater to come out of this, because we know if we allow Spirit to do that. And these are deeply spiritual people. All the people of Charleston that I met were deeply spiritual people. And so I was grateful that we were, as a convention, willing to step forward in this, willing to have a whole evening dedicated to Black history and to allow the voices to come forward that were speaking the truth and us willing to hear it. And it hasn't happened, as I mentioned, it's a progression of our movement. Over 50 years ago, so the Science of Mind magazine, if you're, by the way, I brought back several of the Science of Mind magazines. It's the January, February issue, so the daily guide will only be good for another week, but it's got some great articles in it, and they were just giving them away. So I have a couple dozen out of this. So go by the welcome table and pick up one of those, and look at that. I think the magazine is great. It's been printed for 100 years. They put 2 months together now to reduce the amount of mailing cost and things like that. But I would invite you to subscribe to it, or pick up the newest one. We have it here when they come in. But used to be, this magazine would list in the back the centers that we have, the different, then it was Church of Religious Science, now Centers for Spiritual Living. And it would list them, and it'd be a great way if you lived in, I don't know, Cincinnati or somewhere, you could look through there and see if there was a church near you. And about 50 years ago, there was a church in LA area. I don't even know where it was exactly, but it was a very integrated church with many different cultures and races in this church. And it unnerved some people. And the editors of the magazine, in the listing, decided to put a different category in the magazine for this church. It was called a non-Caucasian church. Ernest Holmes was still alive then, and he went to that church, and he spoke there, and he said, "This is not okay." First of all, he told them to take out that category, put all of them in by state, and then alphabetical order by the town they were in. And he also spoke, and he said, "We are about oneness, that we are all coming together as one, and this is a place for everybody." So he stood strong. And yet there were still times when people would, even 15, 20 years ago, when people would talk about diversity, talking about the need for having representation of different cultures and races in the lineup of speakers at these conventions, there were people who said, "But we're all one. It doesn't matter. We don't have to be diverse because we're all one." Well, obviously the hypocrisy of that, people continued to speak the truth that we need a diversity to represent many voices, many perspectives, many ways. And so it's taken some while for us to work through, because the arc of the moral universe we may not see where it's going, but it is moving towards justice, that long arc. And so our movement came to this point. And we had one speaker that her name is Derica Blackman, and she's the minister from the Oakland, from the East Bay Church of Religious Science, which is one of our centers for spiritual living. She graduated 15 years ago from ministerial school and left this denomination because she didn't see herself represented. She was one of those people that was advocating for speakers of different colors, races, cultures. And she left because she didn't see herself represented. She just came back because she saw an evolution. And she took this pulpit at East Bay. And now, in fact, in Oakland, the three main centers for spiritual living all have strong African American women in the pulpit. And I think they were all represented in Charleston. So it's really wonderful to see. So when we talk about this lighting the way of love, I didn't notice when I signed up for this. I kind of noticed, there's a lantern, but I didn't know the symbology of that. But it was made clear there at the convention. And so I bought some of these lanterns also, because what this was a symbol when people were running away from their plantation where they were enslaved. There was an underground railroad, which you probably have heard from. Harriet Tubman helped many people on the Underground Railroad, but in fact there were many people, white and black, who helped house and direct and guide people through the Underground Railroad. And this lantern would be the thing that was obviously not publicized, but people were told by mouth, orally, that there would be a lantern in the window if it was a safe house, safe to go to. Because they traveled by night, they would have to. So when they saw a lantern in the window, it was a symbol that this is a safe house. So what I'd like to invite us to know that, and anybody to know, that this lantern is a sign that this is a safe community to be in for all people. And may we be guided by the North Star like those people in the Underground Railroad. And let's keep the light on. Let's keep the lantern lit. To listen to stories. I know for myself, after walking through that museum and talking with people that week, I recommitted to listening to stories, even when they're uncomfortable, even when it's hard to hear. That we want to keep listening, or just to hear a different perspective, a different view, even if it doesn't seem, uncomfortable. It's just different. Because we know that the difference, the diversity, is going to make us stronger and smarter and wiser, more creative, more powerful, and truly living this idea that we're creating a world that works for everyone. So while I was there were many things I assimilated, and I'm still unpacking a lot of it, literally. I might have unpacked my luggage, but I'm still unpacking the information and wisdom I received the last week. But one thing I know that one of our speakers, Sean Ginwright, he wrote a book called The Four Pivots, and he talks about reimagining justice, reimagining ourselves, and reimagining a world that works for everyone. One thing about this statement that we talk about a lot as a vision is that reimagining, I hope that you all know that when we say it works for everyone, it's also for all life, because for a world that works for everyone, it's got to be our environment too, our world that we need to take care of. We need to have a place where we have fresh water and fresh air and trees and a climate that is suitable for us. So please know that's part of it. And I love what, this is Sean Jen right here. He gave a talk one evening. I just loved his talk, and I like what he has saying about justice and freedom are not just the absence of oppression, but rather the ability to truly create the type of world we envision. And I just reiterate that I want to continue to unpack these ideas in coming weeks about creating the kind of world we want and the type of world that we envision, and allow that vision to come forth. Ernest Holmes said, last week I quoted Ernest Holmes, our founder, as saying, we believe that anyone can become a revealer of truth. We believe that with spiritual practice, you can know what is true for you, and we can know a greater sense of the divine, and that healing and health and prosperity can be revealed through you. But I also thought it's important as we walk through this time of being interfaith, interrelated with all people, that it's important that we are a church, a center of liberation. That is one of the most important things we teach, is how to be free. Free of our own beliefs that are limiting, free of the opinions of others that hold us back, and to be liberated in a way where we can access all that we have. And Ernest Holmes, this was part of his key teachings. He said, we believe the ultimate goal of life is to be a complete freedom from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. I would just add that can be attained by all. It's a vision that it will be attained by all, but what I know is it can be attained by all if we apply certain principles and practices to our lives. That's the thing about being here on Sundays, the classes we teach, and just being in this community as a resource, is a way to do that. And this is Dorica Blackman that I mentioned. She's as I mentioned, the senior minister at East Bay. And I so appreciated when she got up and gave a talk, she kept repeating this idea about look at us now. Because as I mentioned, she was the one that left our denomination because she didn't feel represented. She didn't feel she had a voice. She came back to our denomination, licensed as a minister, because she did find her voice here. There was a space for her to do this. And I think it's important that we continue to be wherever we are, to be a voice of truth, to be a voice of clarity. I think that ignoring what is uncomfortable maintains our ignorance. Right? When our head is in the sand and we ignore what is uncomfortable, it maintains our ignorance. And instead, I want us to encourage us to be the giraffe that sticks our neck out. This is the opposite of the head in the sand. This is the neck way out. Be willing, because there's nothing to fear. That Spirit is with us at all times. And I mentioned this metaphor of the giraffe last week, that the giraffe not only adapted, that through spiritual intention, I believe, created this neck to eat of the top leaves, and also create a world that worked for everyone. Everyone has a short neck, can eat on the bottom, or the baby giraffes. But also developed, adapted, evolved the largest heart in any land animal, because they had to allow the blood flow all the way up that neck to the head, to the brain. But that's what we're adapting, intending, is creating a larger heart, room for everybody. And I think it's important for us to occasionally take a look at us, at who we are and where we've come from. What I know is that we are a center for spiritual living. And this building is often what we promote, and yet there's so much more. 2 years ago, we received a Community Meritorious Award from Centers for Spiritual Living for all the work we had been doing, all the community work. And we continue to do this work of history that didn't start when I came. Long before I came, we were doing peace tables and work with different faiths and different groups and organizations. And it's evolved as we've been a study group here in the Napa for over 60 years, a church for over 50. And we continue to step out in bigger ways. Our Spanish-speaking ministry, our education, standing for inclusivity and diversity. We've had our youth, and as part of Sip and Savior, our Compassionate Heart Awards. We work with our interfaith groups, and above all, we have this community that has a big heart, that not only individually we're growing big hearts, collectively we're growing a community heart. And giving and our compassionate service in different ways in a grand rising, the different work that we do, and we continue to expand our work. I know that it's not only just us, too, that we are reaching out to different faiths, different organizations. Friday night, Rabbi Niles Goldstein, the rabbi of Congregation Beth Shalom, invited me to their Shabbat, and I'm going to be interviewed by him to talk about the work we're doing, because he wants to connect. He's doing the same work. It's not just us. That's why it's a path of liberation that we're doing with other churches, other people, other organizations, and we continue to rise up. But it's good for us to remind ourselves of where we've been and where we're going in this way. I appreciate what Charleston's poet laureate said, that many things of national importance happened here. He meant in Charleston. Many not positive at all. But are the necessary conversations happening? And he said yes. And this is, I think, true for Napa too. Napa doesn't have a great history when it comes to black individuals, men and women, either. We've done a redlining and sundowning laws and things to keep black people out, Asian Americans out. And so it's not that we have to make up for time, but we are making sure what we are doing now is open and inclusive. We can't change history, but we can change starting now. We can evolve and make sure that people are hearing, that their voices are heard, that the necessary conversations are happening, that we are open to new and better ways of doing things, new openness, allowing this, and continuing to light a way of love. Continuing to light a way of love. I did want to mention that, I don't know if you know, I mentioned her before, Mary Ellen Pleasant was the first black female American self-made millionaire in California. She's known as the mother of civil rights in California. And she started her work long before the Civil War. And what she did, she moved the Underground Railroad, a route out to California. And she was, with her wealth, she built houses for people who were once enslaved. She started businesses that would be jobs for them on farms and livery stables and hotels and restaurants and different things like that. So she made a way. She lit a way of love for other people. And there are people here locally that didn't want, her grave is here in Napa at Tulaque in the southwest corner, the closest corner to downtown, if you want to think about it that. But her tombstone had become of disrepair, and some people had put different things on there. So they cleaned it up and reinstituted it, put a plaque up there. So before you could miss it, now you're not going to miss it. And was dedicated by city officials and different nonprofit organizations. So I would invite you to go out and see that. Mentioned she's called the mother of civil rights here in California at Tulaque Cemetery. But this is the way that we continue to light the way to love. Just like she did, we can stand on people like that, be inspired by people like that, by Dr. King, by many people who have Muhammad Gandhi, different people that have done this and allowed a greater way of showing the diversity of spirit that is always here and always will be. Ella Baker said, "Give light and people will find the way." I think that's what we're doing as a center, and the organizations that we continue to work with, that we create partnerships, that we are lighting the way to love. And as long as we give light, people will find the way and help other people to keep the light lit, so to speak. Because we know that diversity is divine, and we know that that which is coming through us is evolving, is revealed through us because it's revealed to all people. And we can all be free. We can all be liberated if we do this together. Let us go to prayer. I know there's only one. And yet this oneness is expressed in all the races and cultures and gender identifications and orientations. And I am grateful for these many expressions that we have. The greater truth of who we are. And we know that as Spirit walks with us, that we listen, we hear, we allow Spirit to reveal in us that which is speaking through. And I know whatever your prayer request may be right now, that a way forward is revealed in you, even if it's just to be with your feelings, or if it's a way of health, a way of prosperity, a way of healing relationships, or perhaps a healing within yourself. We know all is being revealed because it is Spirit that always reveals and answers our prayer request, our intentions. And like the giraffe that grew the long neck, so we grow, we expand our wings and we transcend to a greater level to do our part in creating a world that works for everyone. And for this, I'm grateful today. I'm grateful for our individual efforts. I'm grateful for our community effort. I'm grateful for Spirit itself being that which it is. And for this, I'm always grateful. And to affirm this, we say together, and so it is. All yours. Oh, thank you.
I have to apologize. I left my guitar in the rain. And to add insult to injury, I stuck it in the dryer. Oh my God. This is called a charango from South America. So, and it's great. I got a new verse to my song from his talk. And so I'll sing that at the end. And you have a part in this song. It's Learn the Music. Let's get comfortable. It goes like this. Learn the music. Learn the music. Learn the music. And there's harmonies too. Learn the music. Learn the music. Well, instead of war, learn each other's music. Oh, instead of war, learn each other's music. Instead of war, learn the music. Learn the music. Here's my new verse. Oh, light the way. Keep your lanterns burning. Oh, light the way. Keep your lanterns burning. light the way. Learn the music. Learn the music. Oh, embrace the mix. Learn another language. Embrace the mix. Learn another language. Embrace the mix. Learn the music. Learn the music. And speak your mind. Learn from the heart. Oh, speak your mind. Learn, 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 learn from the heart. Speak your mind. Learn the music. Learn the music. Learn the music. Learn the music.
So, thank you. And writing music on the fly, huh? This is a time in our service we invite you to be part of the law of circulation. If I could have the ushers come forward. What I know from a spiritual perspective, that which we give from the heart and our soul comes back to us in many, many different ways. So we have several ways you can donate and support our vision and mission here at the center, both online, texting, checks the other mail, or give to us on Sundays. We appreciate all that you've given to us in the past, today, and that you'll give to us in the future. It does helps us keep the lights on, but also the metaphorical lights of lighting the way of love. So let's just put our hand over our chest and affirm that which you've given in the past, today, or in the future. And we say, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I am, and all that I circulate. And so it is.
God is the source of who I am. God is the dream of what I do. And if it's God I'm talking to, I give myself to be used by you. God is the source of who I am. God is the dream of what I do. And if it's God I'm talking to, I give myself to be used by you. God is the source of who I am. God is the dream of what I do. And if it's God I'm talking to, give myself to be used by, myself to be used by, myself to be used by. You ready? You. Use me, God.
So we want to give a special welcome today to anybody who might be here for the first time, either online or here in the community. We have a gift for you if you're willing to raise your hand. Anybody here for the first time? I know David's, I met him earlier. Anybody else here for the first time? Well, we're so grateful to have everybody here, whether it's your first, second, third, fourth, or 500th time. We appreciate you being part of our community. So we raise our hands to people who might be their first time or first few times here, and we repeat the blessing that is on the screen. We bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community, and so it is. So we invite our practitioners to come up to the front and remind you that if you're interested in a prayer after the service, it's very easy. You just have a seat, and then when everybody clears out, you come up to one of our practitioners, or they'll come to you and offer you a brief affirmative prayer. If you're not staying for prayer, we appreciate it if you step on out in the courtyard and enjoy the day so we can keep this as a sacred space. Let us now welcome our children. We need a song for children. You got a song for children?
Get a children's song, you know. Da, 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 something. Let's see, what would be a good children's song? How about this one? Where does the music go? Where does the music go? Where does the music go?
I don't know. Where does the music go?
When it's gone.
When it's gone. Thank you. I think we'll work on that one, okay? So Lupe, thank you for watching our children today. Do you have anything to share today from your time?
We were watching a little video.
Here, use the microphone because otherwise they won't hear you.
Yeah, we were watching some videos about values, and I think they want to share. Now give it to Thank you.
Respectful is about being kind.
Be kind, okay. And do you have something to share?
When people are being rude, making fun of you, someone can help you up when you're sad.
Oh. It sounds like I'll help you up off the ground, but also help you with being nice to you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Oh.
If someone's feeling sad or just having a bad day, being kind can help them in all sorts of ways.
Yeah. If you don't know, this is Tony, by the way. Thank you. Let's raise our hand to our children and our teen and do the affirmation that's on the screen there. We care of you, we care about you, and we're here for you. Let's all stand for the congregational affirmation. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. I'm led by Spirit. I'm guided by wisdom. I'm protected by love. I am here to be a blessing. I am so grateful. And so it is. And now our peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with forth. Let's keep our lamps lit, right? And so it is. Have a great Sunday.